What up, Speed Addicts fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a day that I've been really waiting for. Today is the day that I want to install the Holley 6.86, almost 7-inch dash. This is a big deal for me because as you know, I got the 1989 Nissan 240, and like I said, it's an 89, so the gauge cluster, it only goes up to 110. It's out of date. At nighttime, you barely can see it. So this right here is gonna be an awesome update. And here's the dash. It's a pretty small little thing. I'm hoping that with my bad eyesight, that it won't be too terrible. But what we're gonna attempt today is we're gonna attempt to install this onto the factory bezel. First of all, I know that there's several people out there that's got CAD, that do all that 3D printing stuff, and that they can make some kind of cluster deal that will bolt this dash up to the factory cluster. But I mean, anybody can buy something and install something, you know what I'm saying? Here at Speed Addicts Garage, I like to fabricate. I like to make it my own. I like to go to the show and somebody be like, man, who did that?
I did.
You know what I'm saying? Ding. I feel proud of the stuff that I do. And plus it makes it more fun when you get to like fabricate or customize whatever you want and to do it the way you want to do it. So I'm hoping that you guys like this outcome, and I don't know where it's gonna go, but I hope it work out. All right, so first off, I got this off of a trade. As you can tell, I never ended up using it. But the reason I got this pulled out today is as you can tell, it's got a couple of like little green LED little lights, and then we got a couple of amber lights. I want to use these for the turn signal, and I think I want to utilize at least one of these for my my low fuel level. We may or may not peel this carbon fiber off so that we can trace the template. And let me show you what we're going to be tracing this template to. What I have here is a little thin piece of ABS plastic that I got from a local plastic supplier. It's a little on the thin side, but as far as me cutting it out and then attempting to glue it to this section here, I think it's gonna work out pretty good. I'm gonna try to take this out, use this as a template, and then also, when we get to that point, we also got to talk about the wiring as well. Since I don't need this thing, I'm gonna tear it up because they fiberglass on both sides. That looks like a close enough fit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and transfer this to that piece of ABS plastic. I'm just gonna use this old school Milwaukee, that ain't Milwaukee, Black & Decker, reciprocating, I don't know what you call this thing, but I'm gonna use it on this. A bunch of back and forth between the grinder and mocking this up, that's what we got so far. So I don't know if you noticed it, but I had traced the back of it because this is the side that I don't care about. I want to use the texture side, and what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna put some Gorilla Glue around this lip here, and then probably like set it up overnight with something with some decent weight on it to make sure everything is tight, and then we'll come back. Hey, and I tell y'all what, man, Holley is like my new favorite like car brand. With the screen, it comes with this little template, and since we're doing flush mount, we're gonna use this template here. But I think what I'm gonna attempt to do first is I'm gonna make the center mark on this, and then see if I can try to figure out the center mark from left to right, the center mark from up and down. And then I'm gonna probably bolt the screen up there, eyeball it, and then I'm gonna drill my 2 holes so that we can mount the screen real quick. I got my 4 holes drilled out. Those are the holes that's gonna mount the dash to this piece of ABS plastic. Mark the center section, which is where the GPS plug is, with that grease. Drill that hole out big enough. So the last few things I need to line up and drill out is these 1 and 2 sections for the USB. And then this is the power and the communication that goes from this dash to the Holley computer, the ECU. All right, I traced out the power distribution with my kids' number 2 pencil. And I made that hole just a little bit bigger so I don't have any issues as far as plugging it up or unplugging it. So let's go ahead and cut that out real quick. Let's see if I can, I'm gonna use this little piece of manila paper, see if I can make a template for both of these USB ports. Check this out. So before we take our Holley EFI dash and permanently mount it to this deal here, I want to go over the hardware. It looks like they got the same thread pitch for both hardwares, but they just got one longer than the other. And I think that's because you can use these grommets. So I've already opened up these 4 holes right here, the mounting holes, so 3/8, which is what they recommend. And I'm gonna go ahead and insert these little rubber pieces. All right, guys, that's what the front of it looked like. And in the back of it, like we gotta notch out a little bit of webbing right there for the GPS sensor, or where it goes into it. And then the hardware on that top there. So I'm gonna do a little bit more trimming, and we're gonna do our final fit up before we go to the next steps. Wow, there we go, guys, look at that. That junk is gonna look fresh in the daggone Nissan. Let me show you the back too. I went ahead and cut the middle section out, open up all the sections where the bolt holes are at. But before we glue all this back together and make it permanent, we do got to go ahead and install these. Once again, I think I'm gonna have one over here, like to the right somewhere, a green one over here. It's gonna be turn signal that side. And then we'll probably have the left turn signal over here. And then I might put like the amber one like right beside it. So if I ever wanted to add more bulbs or whatever for any case, I think I might just do like a line like that and then do the same thing here and maybe keep this bottom section open for, I don't know, maybe a gauge, or I have no clue. But let me go ahead and mark my spots, drill my holes for these, and then we are done. Well, I take that back, we ain't done, but then we can glue it to this, and then we can go ahead and start working on this section. Real quick, I'm gonna take all this stuff out. I'm gonna completely gut this, and then I'm gonna take the wires on the back of this little deal here, and I'm just gonna pick out the low fuel level. Then I'm gonna pick out both of the turn signals, which are up here, and I'm gonna just basically get them from the harness, which the harness comes in on these 3 sections here. Hey, and I was wearing my PPE too, so check this out. I was cutting that plastic using this little 4.5 inch, or actually it's smaller than that, but using this little disc grinder. And I was cutting this plastic right here. And when you cut it, it don't really cut it, it kind of melts it. And it basically melted that joker and then flung it. And check out my neck, can y'all see it? I hope y'all ain't got a weak stomach, it ain't real nasty. But you see it? That junk stuck to my neck, and when I grabbed it and pulled it off, it like took my meat with it. Be safe out here in the garage. I mean, I can't be safe. I mean, it's inevitable for me to get jacked up. But we almost done with this dash, so let's get back to the program. All right, so like we said, we wanted to keep I think that's right turn signal, TR, and then TL for left turn signal. And what we need to find out, which one is ground, which one is power. This one here is pretty obvious. As you can tell, it says GND, that means ground. So them two join together and goes to this wire right here. The right one goes to that one, and then the left one snakes down and goes to this one. So when we go inside of the car, we need to find those 3 wires. And then the same thing for the fuel. As you see right here, it says fuel. So if you trace that down, one side goes to here. So that wire is gonna be the second one here. And then as you can tell, this one here is the ignition. And the reason I know that is if you trace that wire all the way across, it joins here, then it comes all the way back down. And what does that say right there? IGN for ignition. All right, there it is. It's like a little puzzle. So it goes down here, goes here, goes here, and then it comes up across there. See that little line right there? And then it comes up to that ignition spot, and then it ends up terminating right there. So we need to find that wire also. All right, SpeedX fam, I went ahead and disconnected the harness that goes to the back of this gauge cluster. I plugged everything in for references, and I went a step further and I labeled everything so that when I go ahead and make my cuts, I could take out any mistakes that I may make. But just real quick, we got the signal wire for the fuel. We got the ignition also for the fuel, and this will, ignition for the fuel. Then we got right turn signal, left turn signal. Both of these are gonna be the powers. And then we got a single wire that is gonna be the negative ground for the turn signals. So to dumb this down, we got the tube here for turn signals. Both of the black wires, both of these grounds are gonna go to this ground. And then the reds is gonna go to left and right. And then this one here is gonna be the fuel. Pretty daggone simple. The black wire is gonna go to this wire here. The black with the, the red with the black stripe. And then this red wire is gonna tap into this ignition wire. I think I'm gonna tap everything in and then snake it through like one of these holes right here so that it can peek up through the back side and it'll plug into the back of the gauge cluster that we're making. Hey, off subject real quick. I went to Lowe's to see if they had some Heim joints because I seen them on the internet that Lowe's had them. So I figured I'd go check them in stock. We took the Prelude and check this out. Y'all hear that noise? Can you see my crank pulley? I read about this on Facebook and I didn't know that it was this serious, but I think my harmonic balancer has separated. That little lip on it, didn't have that lip on it before. That pulley, the outer part of that pulley needs to be pushed back some more, that part right there. At some point we'll get to this build, but I took the H22 out and I got a F20B. So with that being said, I believe I got another harmonic balancer, so let me go see if I can find it, and I'm gonna see if I can fix this real quick, then we can start back on the Nissan. I guess jokers in Japan don't have power steering, because as you can tell, this one only got a rib for one belt, and obviously that one has a rib for 2. So that's that means that your boy gonna have to make a trip to LKQ, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it today. All right, fam, I hit that bezel with a couple coats of gloss black, then I topped it off with a little bit of matte clear to give it more of like a satin finish. So now that we're done with that, now we're ready to go ahead and glue this to that. I think I'm gonna do JB Weld. JB Weld, you can't really break JB Weld. I mean, that stuff is strong. I might use Gorilla Glue, cause that stuff's strong too, but JB Weld is like strong. I don't know what I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna use something strong. It's about time to use this Summit Racing catalog. And if you ain't never used JB Weld before, it's pretty daggone easy. Just put the same amount of material side by side, mix it up, and smear it on what you're trying to fuse together. And it's really that easy. Wow, yeah, look at that. Good, that junk looks so good, I ought to start selling it. Look at the back. Hit them edges with a little bit of that JB Weld. I cut all my ports out in the back for plug-ins. Everything's secured. I got my turn signals, the right one and the left one, and it also got my low fuel level. Then also got the wiring done on this. I kind of gutted out the inside. I don't know if I needed to or not, but I wanted to kind of open that up so I don't have any issues. So now I need to see if this will go in with no other issues. And then the last thing I need to do is I need to wire all my wires up to the appropriate spots. I'm gonna try to make it pretty. So let's knock that out. All right, fam, I think that's it. I had to use a little Sawzall and open that section up so I can plug that in. I got the GPS sensor in there and also got the USB section plugged into the back. As you can tell, I ended up having to butcher quite a bit of this, but the structure is still there. That's what the front looked like. So I'm itching to test this thing out. I don't know if I have to do any kind of firmware update or whatever, but I'm gonna hit this with compressed air to get all this stuff off, plug it up real quick, and let's see if we can turn the key on and see what it look like. I ain't got the bezel on there yet, but that don't look too bad. Let's see if we can turn the key on, see if we can get some kind of action. Oh, I got the kill switch off. Hold on. All right, take two. Ooh, look at that. Y'all, look at this junk. These are all the different screens you got. Man, I kind of like that one. Oh man, this mess is crazy, dude. All right, guys, I ended up having to disconnect the CAN cable over there. It's got one CAN spot. I was using that spot for my USB so I can use my laptop to do like self-learning tuning and kind of play with it. So I ended up having to unplug that and plug this in. Now we got battery voltage. It looked like it's reading a few things. I got to play with it a little bit as far as configurations and setting up the screens and stuff. But let me go ahead and fire it up and see if this thing works. Yo guys, this is a game changer, bro. I am so freaking happy and so freaking pumped. Thanks to my boy Adam. Actually, he saved me $1,000. And how he did that is if you go on Facebook, day-to-day deals, they do a lot of what we call waffles, but it's basically a raffle. And I think he paid 40 bucks, 60 bucks, and actually won that $1,000 Holley Dash. So thank you, man. Thank you, Holley, for putting together an awesome product. And you've seen how like fresh and crisp that thing is. A lot of people nowadays, they want to have something equivalent to that. They're downloading the tablet and then they got to configure that tablet a certain way. Then you got to have this long cable plugged into the battery. Either way, we ain't got to do that. This thing is hot and I can't wait to play with it. So in the next few episodes, I'll probably show you some custom configurations. I might put a little SpeedX logo in the background. I may not. But I think this is going to conclude this video. It was a success. Glad you guys came along for the ride. And we're so close to dynoing this thing and then taking it for a couple test drives. And then most importantly, see if we can get a couple of reactions out of a few family members or a few friends that I take for a ride. So until then, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you on the next episode.